After being dismasted, the Holcim-PRB team came up with a plan to sail the boat to Rio, under jury rig, where they hoped to fit a spare mast and rejoin the race. The logistics and timings behind this operation were complicated. It seems the latest plan is not to do leg 4 to Newport and get a new mast delivered to there, so that they can do the double point, leg 5, from Newport across the Atlantic. This way they could possibly still lead the race on points.
It's such a mixed feeling. It's like, it's the weirdest. I still can't get my head around, like, we should go to Newport, not to Rio.
That's life, huh?
Oh, le silence d'un coup.
C'est du bien.
Oh,
How does it feel?
calme. It's really nice.
Alors c'est un dématage, c'est un dématage, non pas, c'est pas le mât en lui-même qui a cassé, c'est une pièce qui relie l'étai principal du bateau au mât qui a cassé. Le mât en lui-même était intact et du coup le mât n'étant plus tenu sur l'avant, le mât est tombé vers l'arrière du bateau. En tombant, il s'est brisé en deux et à partir de ce moment-là, tout est terminé. Tout est terminé, tout du moins pour la leg 4.
Premier temps, tu sais qu'il y a un truc qui a pété, mais tu sais pas que c'est le mât qui est tombé. Là, on regarde un peu l'étendue des trucs. Il y avait le mât qui était posé sur le roof, qui tapait. Il y avait de la mer, donc en fait, à chaque fois que ça tape, ça craque. Et puis t'as le mât qui petit à petit vient jusqu'à se péter en deux en fait. Le mât il s'est pété en deux au bout de 5 minutes.
Malheureusement, on n'a pas trouvé de solution de logistique pour pouvoir repartir en mer maintenant, depuis le Brésil, finir cette leg jusqu'à Newport. Donc le choix a été de se dire, on préfère assurer le départ à Newport que mettre en péril 2 legs. Obligé d'abandonner cette leg 4 pour mieux revenir sur la leg 5 qui va compter double. Ce qui veut dire aussi qu'on peut repartir de Newport en étant toujours en tête de l'Ocean Race et ça c'est le plus important parce que ce qui m'importe ça reste la victoire finale.
This is your weekly Sailing Global Highlights show, The World on Water, May 5th, 2023. In the Caribbean, the sailing action is on the Antigua Sailing Week. The 54th edition of Antigua Sailing Week set off with the spectacular curtain raiser, the Peters and May Round Antigua Race. 5 days of red-hot racing followed for Antigua Sailing Week, with legendary shoreside celebrations and daily prize givings. Antigua Sailing Week is a melting pot of nations. Boats from 18 countries are competing at the 54th edition.
I love Antigua Sailing Week. Antigua Sailing Week is running on its 54th year. I mean, to think about a regatta that has been going on for 56, if you include the 2 years of COVID, that's just phenomenal. We are one of the longest running events in all of the Americas and certainly the largest one in the Caribbean. But the most special thing about Antigua is how we cater to such a broad group of people. On the high end, we have beautiful carbon racing boats like Hooligan and other phenomenal racing boats that make the trek to Antigua because of its famous winds, waves, and waters. And then on the other extreme end, now we have wing foilers. And for an event to expand its horizons so broadly, it's really, really unique, and it's certainly the only one in the Caribbean doing that. Don't forget, we still have RS Elites, One Design boats. We have the largest fleet of bareboats in the Caribbean with 20 bareboats. And then all in all, 80 racing sailboats in just perfect conditions, great waters, awesome racing.
So today I took a wildcat on the race course. The conditions were really light, flat seas. We went up to the Indian Shoal and back to the finish. We made gains on the fleet, and as we started to get closer, the wind died, and you know, sailing in light wind in a cat, it's not going to happen. So for the rest of the week, I'll be on Rebel B, a FAR 45. It's a local boat. I'm really excited. I know it will be a fun week. It's all about having fun here in Antigua.
The shoreside activities in Antigua are legendary. Prize givings, parties, celebrations, good times is part of our DNA, and we simply love that here.
Overall winners of the beaters in May. Banners!
This
Alpen Cup in Torbo, it's a great event. This year we have 17 or 18 boats out of 10 nations worldwide. Australia, Bahamas, Norway, Switzerland, France, Italy and so on. And I think the Alpen Cup now it's perhaps 15 years old. We organized it then from Switzerland, and up to now every year the club was very interested in us and did a lot of the 5.5 meter class. So we like to come here. It's a great event for the opening of the season in Europe. We had 2 races today. Actually everything is scheduled. In total we have 8 races in this regatta. Beautiful sailing, strong wind conditions in the first day, medium and quite a lightish today. We finished 6th in the first race today, and we perform when it really counts in the last one. We won the last one, very happy. Last year we finished 3rd in this regatta, 3rd, and this year winning, it means a lot to me because I always like to improve. We felt that the level of the fleet is high, very high actually. We came to the class, we joined the class 2-3 years ago, and it was already challenging to be on the top in the races and the events.
British sailing coach John Emmett talks to Australian Tokyo Olympian Mara Stransky, who finished 2nd in the medal race to improve her position from 7th to 5th overall in the 2023 Hears Regatta in France.
So congratulations, Mara, medal race winner. It's been a really good week for you and your teammate. Just tell us how it all went down today.
Yeah, today was nice. I sort of went into the medal race with not too much pressure after a pretty bad day yesterday. So my goal was just to have the best race I possibly could. And if possible, try not to get in the way of my teammate winning a bronze medal, which she did. So I'd say it was pretty successful.
She did a really good job, and for you can't do any better than 2 points on a final day. Just tell us about yesterday, because it was a really tough day on the water, wasn't it?
Yeah, yesterday was pretty tough, and I made a lot of pretty silly mistakes. I at one stage thought that we were general recalled, so I stopped sailing, and it turns out we were actually racing.
I don't know if it makes it any better for you, but I have done that myself when there was an individual recall and I just made an assumption. So maybe good to learn that here rather than another one. But yeah, what was the conditions like yesterday? Because this regatta, it's been amazing, the difference, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a pretty challenging regatta. We've had a bit of both extremes. We had the strong Mistral on the first 2 days, and then some pretty light, shifty, I found unpredictable conditions the rest of the days. So it's been a real test, and I've been making it quite difficult for myself. So I'm actually a little bit surprised to have done as okay as I did in the end.
Any top 10 in Olympic classes World Cup is a really solid result. And yeah, if you look at the scores, a lot of people struggle with the consistency. For the folks at home, can you just explain what the Mistral is? It's something quite special, isn't it?
The Mistral is a bit of a local beast that he is pretty famous for. It's a very strong offshore wind that takes a few souls out there.
And it often lulls us into a false sense of security with the lovely blue sky, the sun's out, and it's offshore, so it doesn't seem that windy onshore. But today, very different conditions for the medal race. You obviously were pretty fast.
Yeah, I generally prefer the wind when it's coming onshore, so today was a really nice change from the rest of the week.
So onshore, we're looking, perhaps it was a little less shifty?
Yeah, a little bit less shifty, and I could sort of trust my gut rather than doubt every decision I made.
You've got to have confidence in yourself, and as I said, it's a really, really solid result. What do you think you're going to be working on next? Because the Olympic Games is creeping up, and it's the end of the Olympic cycle now.
Yeah, I think for me, I was pleased that my speed wasn't letting me down as much as it has in the past this week. It was definitely all in my head, so
that, the coach,
to do that.
the coach in me has to ask, and people don't always answer. But what do you see your strengths and your weaknesses?
I'd say strengths-wise, I'm pretty comparable across the conditions in terms of speed. And weaknesses, I think I just lack a bit of self-confidence sometimes, and that really gets shown up in the conditions where you really have to be bold.
So is that all bugbear decision making? Did I read that right?
Oh, probably.
And I think I've chatted to a few of your teammates, but a bit of home time must be on the cards soon.
Yeah, we go home straight away after this, and we have a month to recoup and get some solid training in.
Brilliant. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll see you in France in the near future. Thanks so much for your time, and well done.
Thank you.
We are sailor-only media, so to support us please subscribe, like and share. Charleston Race Week emerged from humble beginnings as a small, local championship event, to become the largest keelboat regatta in the Western Hemisphere, that draws many of sailing's elite from around North America and the world. This iconic annual event is held each April in one of the world's most desirable travel destinations, Charleston, South Carolina, and has returned this year for its 26th edition. We have 2 reports.
We're here at Charleston Race Week 2023. I'm Bridget Croak.
I'm Patrick Croak. I'm her dad.
And I'm sailing on Crazy Train.
Well, I think it's great just seeing all the boats. We love the one design stuff, and there's not enough chance to do the one design stuff in our area. So that's one of the real reasons to come down here. And it's just great seeing all our friends again.
Yeah, always a good turnout and always a good time.
It's definitely more wind down here than there is up in Long Island Sound where we're used to sailing. So it's nice to be up on a plane when we can.
Yeah, that's super fun.
I'm Caroline. I'm trimming main and doing tactics on Soul.
And I'm Kate, and I'm doing bow.
So we are the College of Charleston offshore team. We get a lot of practice with the core races and stuff, but you know, it's really cool to be sailing against other teams that aren't colleges. It's a nice change of pace, and it's a really fun event.
Not the first one to say it, but it is like Christmas in April. It's really exciting being a sailor here to have a bunch of people in town and just the whole city get excited for it. We did have COVID freshman year, but with the exception of that, I think that we all did every year, which has been really great. It's something we all look forward to. It's also a really special event, I think, for a lot of us because we've got 4 senior girls on board, so it's kind of our last hurrah with the team. So we'll definitely be shedding some tears on Sunday, I'm sure, but a fun last event together.
I'm sailing on Exile. It's a J88.
I'm Graham Eager, sailing on J88 Exile.
And this is Sunday, Charleston Race Week. We're hoping for some breeze, really. It looked like it was going to be a little bit lighter today. Hoping that the sea breeze fills in, a little earlier in the day because we've got the early start.
Long downwinds, and that's going to be probably the name of the game.
I think it's just the extra aspects of current, the challenge of the bay, and then beautiful weather, consistent breeze, always have good breeze here. And then we also love going out on King Street. It's a nice downtown, great venue with the beach and the pool and the Yorktown.
The weather's good. There's usually a pretty good breeze. We always seem to have a lot of fun. The fleet seems to always come out, and it's a competitive regatta.
Port Stephens is north of Sydney in Australia, and it sits on a beautiful bay that is twice the size of Sydney Harbour. The Sail Port Stephens Regatta saw crews on the 108 boats enjoy flawless conditions, perfectly aligned to the scenic offshore courses set by Principal Race Officer Dennis Thompson.
Perfect sailing conditions under clear autumn skies set the tone for a glamour opening day of Sail Port Stephens, with crews aboard the record fleet of 108 yachts enjoying some of the best and most scenic in-harbour racing on offer in Australia. A 12-knot southeasterly breeze chimed in on cue for the upwind start directly off Nelson Bay breakwall, with race officials setting a course taking the 5 divisions toward 2 turning marks in Shoal Bay, set inside the spectacular entrance to Port Stephens. There were some close calls but no paintwork scraped as Division 1 got away to clean start, with Julian Bell's Beneteau 51st project hitting the line with pace and finding clear air. The intricacies of racing on a waterway 2.5 times the size of Sydney Harbour with strong tidal flows and shifting winds is one of the great levelers in this extremely popular regatta, and ensured close action as spinnakers were deployed for the downwind leg to a mark in Salamander Bay. Lama 2, Adela 46, capitalised on a good start and hoisted their distinctive yellow spinnaker before dropping the kite and getting locked in a tacking duel with 51st Project on the final upwind beat to the finish off Nelson Bay. The close battle helped Lama 2 secure first day PHS honours in Division 1 from Lisa Callahan's Sydney 38 Mondo. Colisa, owned by Neil Farquharson, held down third. Division 2 was also closely contested, with Justin Mitchell's Adams 10, Rant and Rave, securing a win from Lee Condell's Gino, Sunfast 3300 Sunfish, and Knocklex Afar 30, owned by Joel Skelton. In Division 3, local heroes Bellamy put their knowledge of Port Stephens current and tide elevators to good use, holding out Animal Farm from the Gosford Sailing Club and Adrian Williams, Kelsey Blue, a Cansey 115. Steve Liney, Bellamy's skipper, and his crew hail from the Port Stephens Yacht Club at Soldiers Point. Liney, a longtime sailor, confessed to having a rock star on board, well-known Sydney sailor Andrew Bucko Buckland.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli continued their relentless drive for perfection last Thursday on their 4th straight session this week in near-perfect conditions out on the Bay of Cagliari, and were joined on their imaginary racecourse by competition in the form of 1,800 horsepower hanging off the back of their chase boat, to give the team some pressure, or interference, as Francesco Bruni called it later.
We're here with Keko Bruni, helmsman on board Luna Rossa. Keko, finally some sea breeze again.
Yep.
Can you break down the day for us?
Well, we did half day testing, half day around the course. We tried to push around the course a little bit more than usual with chase boat, a little bit of chase boat action interfering with the boat. It was good. We had a good setup. The boat was going well today. So yeah, it was a very nice day with the sea breeze. Here was perfect intensity, medium breeze between 12 and 15 knots. So and the waves were not too big, so pretty easy for kind of day.
Regarding the match race with Chascat, can you tell us something more about it? Like, does the Chascat have some true wind angles or boat speeds which they have to?
Today we were really unprepared. It was just an idea of Jimmy during the day. Why don't we mix it up a bit? And I think we were not. I mean, it was good as a first day, but definitely we can do better on interfering even more. Today was kind of a first day since long time doing this. The last thing we want to do is having an incident between those two boats. So we keep it pretty safe. It was good. It was a good balance between pushing the boat and keeping it safe.
Isn't it like you trained for last campaign?
Yeah, it was something as an activity that we did, and we are not the only ones. So other teams did the same. It's the best way to very quickly have another boat in the course, and he's always had the power of giving some more and getting away from troubles.
Mm-hmm. And Keko, of course, we know you guys run your protocols, and can you give us some insight of what controls are you in charge of when steering and also when not steering?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can tell you a little bit, but
sure.
not much. Definitely, when you are not steering, you have more time to look around and to decide where is with the best pressure, or you can have your eyes a little bit more away from the boat and have the possibility to help the helmsman on the other side. And this is what we did in the last cup, so it's not a secret. And then we have other controls, other buttons. Obviously, we try to share the jobs between the boats so that there's not one guy overloaded, and so we try to share between the four of us. The hardest part sometimes that you have an overlap of roles, so we try to avoid those moments.
Ecco, per concludere un saluto in siciliano per i tifosi di Rossa.
Ai nostri amici picciotti siciliani un grande saluto, ne vedremo presto.
Grazie Keko.
Grazie.